Well, hey there, everybody. As you can see, it's smoky in here. I'm Russ, Lead Crayon, and I have not done a video in a long time, so I have a few minutes here to just kind of hang out with you and hopefully put this up as a live stream on YouTube, and the result of that live stream will be published as a regular video. I'm doing this for a couple of reasons. The first is I haven't done a video in forever, and there has been a lot of activity on my channel over the past year since I've done a video, with people subscribing to me and me subscribing to other people. And I figure people might like to see some content at some point, which, hey, I like watching content. Other people probably like watching content too. So I'm going to put out some content. So first thing you'll notice is that I'm doing my best to keep this cigar lit, which is going satisfactorily. This is a Drew Estate Nica Rustica right there, which is one of my favorites. I love these things. I like a lot of things that Drew Estate does, you know, what can I say? The other thing I'm doing is to try and catch up with folks. I've done a couple of videos, or attempted to put a couple of videos on YouTube that have not had any audio, so I'm fixing that now. I'm pretty sure this has got audio, and if anybody is actually watching this, has had a moment to click on the live stream, I do have the chat window open back here, so I can see what you're saying, so if you want to say something, feel free to do that. And the third thing is basically just to catch up with all of you. I realize that the lighting in here is pretty good. The acoustics are pretty bad because it's sort of an echoey, wide open space in my garage out here. Most people don't have like all of this crazy shit on their walls in their garage, but this is also a concert venue, a karaoke bar, and a whole lot of other things. And right now, it's my recording studio. And my cigar lounge. And my bar. So people who watched my earlier videos will notice that I probably look a bit different. I've had a year and a half or so to let this grow out, and it's starting to look pretty good. Hair's as long as it ever was. Got the cap. Everything's sort of color coordinated right now. The cigar, the hat, shirt, and I've got all my crazy crap on the wall. So I just wanted to say that I appreciate everybody who's kind of stuck with me through the off time, and I really appreciate everybody who's found me lately. The YouTube pipe community that I knew 4 years ago is not the YouTube pipe community that there is today, but there's still a great bunch of wonderful people out there, and it's fantastic to see all the new contributors. And hang on one second while I answer the phone. Yes. How many rolls per person? 3. Okay. Okay. Sure, that'd be great. Oh no, Supreme. Yes, all of them. No. Okay. All right. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. That works. Okay. Bye. Okay, so that, oh crap, was almost a catastrophe. But in the meantime, it was preparations for Thanksgiving dinner. Let's see, and I dropped my phone, and it says my stream health is bad. So what happened? Probably lost a good signal for dropping my phone. It still says I have decent signal. I don't know why YouTube is complaining, but anyway. If this doesn't work as a live stream, it'll be put out as a video. I'll probably cut out that part where I talked about preparations for Thanksgiving dinner, but maybe I'll leave it in, who knows. So, yeah, so thanks to everybody who's subscribed, who's stuck with me, and I'm enjoying watching the new content and going back and revisiting some of the people I've known from forever. But it's always a fun and enjoyable community, and it's always a giving and helpful community, which is great. Okay, good. And this apparently wants to stay lit now, so fantastic. Sadly, the lighting in here is making me look like I have rabbit teeth, which is unfortunate, but what am I supposed to do, right? Another thing I'm doing with this video is testing out OBS, which is the Broadcaster Studio. And it's kind of neat. It gives you a lot of flexibility. It lets me do things like put this little, the little logo, the little icon down there. And it lets me like transition so I can have my little logins, my intro screen like that. I can also, switch over so you can see a video stream, my video stream in this case, with me down here in the corner. This is me live down here in the corner. And then there's that. So I can, if I wanted to, I could put up some other content or whatever. And then I can switch back so you're seeing me. At least, I think I can. There we go. So it's a pretty neat program. It runs across all platforms, and I am a technical nerd by trade, a geek, if you will. It's what I've done for 30 years and what I continue to do. So I enjoy technical nerdery, among other things. So I've wanted to get back into doing YouTube videos. I just haven't really had a good topic to get into. There are quite a few contests going right now. There's a lot of people trying to put out thought-provoking content, inviting, video responses and stuff like that. And I find that I really want to get in and do all of those things because there's nothing better in the community than when you put out content and someone responds to it. Even if it's just one person who says, hey, I like that video, or they do a video response to the question you've asked, or whatever it is, I would highly encourage anyone who's in the YouTube Pipe community, or just watching stuff on YouTube, make sure you always click the like button, or the hate button, if you don't like whatever you're seeing, and leave a comment. You don't have to be a jerk about your comment, just leave a comment. I mean, I know when somebody responds to something I've done, I'm thrilled. I do this for me because I like putting out the content and I like, engaging people and interacting with people. But when I actually get some feedback, that's the thing that makes it worth it for me. So I would encourage you, if you're part of this community, whether you're an actual maker of videos or not, make sure that you click the like button, you subscribe to as many content producers as you can, and always leave a comment if possible. And if you are a content producer like I am, if someone leaves a comment for you, do your very best to respond to that comment. If you're a very popular content provider and you have thousands and thousands of subscribers, it's very hard to leave individual comments sometimes. But, I always encourage people to do that if at all possible. So I'd like to get back into doing my budget cigar and budget pipe tobacco and budget pipe videos, because those were always fun and I hope enlightening or entertaining or something along those lines. There's a great video that was put out by Maritime Piper, who is asking the question about whether science and God can coexist and why people are always at each other's throats when it comes to those two topics. And that's one I'd like to respond to, but I'm not going to do that in this video. That's a whole other topic and deserves a video of its own. So this is just sort of a general, hey, this is where I've been, this is what I'm doing. So I put out a couple of videos about refurbishing a boat. I'm still working on that project, I just haven't got any more headway on it. I put out a couple of videos about refurbishing a truck. About a week after I did some of the work on that truck in that last video, I got rid of it because I found out that it was basically eating itself from the inside. And I was told that if I didn't want to wind up as roadkill, that I should probably get rid of it. So I did that. So those two avenues of content have disappeared for me. So I'm back to doing like pipe stuff. I have some other content where I do a podcast. I've done a podcast for the past 9 years. It's about amateur radio and open source and things like that, and I'm going to do some YouTube content for that as well. That's part of the reason why I'm testing this OBS thing, because that's where having access to your browser and showing terminal screens and things like that will actually come in super handy. So this is kind of a test for all of that. So, but other than that, it's just about me hanging out with you, enjoying a cigar or a pipe or both, and just having a good time and showing you that I'm still alive. And I hope that I can start some engagement with other people who might watch this video. It's not about getting subscribers or anything like that. It's just about me interacting with you, you interacting with me, and we have a dialogue, and we're human beings, you know, conversing with each other over a smoke, sometimes even not over a smoke. So I do also have some whiskey and Coke here. And by whiskey and Coke, I mean whiskey and Diet Pepsi, which I will pour myself a little bit more of. I have this McCormick right here, whiskey. This is actually locally produced in northwestern Missouri. I am in Missouri, for those people who don't know. And I'm in the southwest of Missouri. They're in the northwest. They're about 3 hours due north of here. But McCormick makes a very, very good bottom shelf whiskey. And I don't want to use the term bottom shelf pejoratively. It's not bad whiskey. It's just typically found on the bottom shelf because it's inexpensive. And just because it's inexpensive doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. And that's especially true in the case of McCormick whiskey. I really, really like it. But it's not your Buffalo Trace, and it's not your, you know, like uber expensive, you know, finely distilled single barrel whiskeys and things like that. It's not one of those. It's just a whiskey. But for just a whiskey, it's fantastic, and I highly recommend it if you can get it where you are. It's kind of in limited distribution, and I'm not sure where all you can get it. So, but you know, you can get it somewhere. You can certainly get it here in Missouri for sure, and surrounding states, I would imagine too. Drew Estate, of course, you can get anywhere. Drew Estate is all over the world. This has a particularly good chocolate/coffee note on the retrohale. If you are an enjoyer of cigars, which I have been for about 3 years now, you can go back and see some interesting videos early on in my YouTube channel about my transition from pipes into cigars and all of the things that went along with that. But now that I've started enjoying them, I've watched probably thousands of videos on how to enjoy a cigar, what to do, what to buy, blah, blah, blah. And of course I use that, file it all away, and then make my own decisions. So I've come to, you know, I have probably 200 cigars now in my humidors, and I, you know, pick and choose them pretty selectively. But I don't go for very expensive things. I go for things that have decent flavor that really don't put you out of pocket very much. And Drew Estate has a lot of stuff in that vein. So Nica Rustica is one of the first things I tried, and I still like it to this day. I also like the My Uzi Weighs a Ton, which is still probably my favorite cigar of all. They're getting harder and harder to find, though. I think Drew Estate kind of switched over to the Kentucky Fire Cured, So the My Uzi Weighs a Ton is starting to fade into obscurity, but if you can still get them. So I'm trying not to and and go so often, because when I do my podcast, I have to edit all that crap out. So I'm trying to think ahead of what my mouth is doing, so it's a little more listenable, and I don't have to go in and edit that anyway, because editing video is much harder than editing audio, and my other endeavor is audio only. So I'm sitting here thinking a little bit, and enjoying this a little bit as well. I'm gonna have to heat this up a little bit. You're not supposed to have to, mainline these things like you're doing heroin, but sometimes I get a couple of cigars that don't really, for the first third, they burn fantastically, and the last third, they burn fantastically, and this middle part, they don't really burn that well. And I don't know if it's because of the way I store them or just the way they come, but sometimes it happens. And, you have to deal with that. And it's probably because I'm talking a little bit too and not paying attention to the cigar, but that's okay. I would much rather pay attention to you. So I do appreciate everybody who might check this video out, even though there's really not a whole lot of content in it, but my life is what it is. I'm dealing with all kinds of stuff. My brother visited for the first time in a while, first time since his divorce, and that was nice to have him here without his ex-wife tagging along, because that was not exactly the world's best relationship. So I'm kind of glad that's over, and according to him, he's glad it's over too. So that's a good thing. I'm dealing with my dad, who up until about 2 years ago was a model of mental and physical fitness, but he had a couple of TIAs and a mild stroke and open heart surgery, and that led to vascular dementia. So now he's only coherent about half the time. He can't really converse with more than one person at a time. And he's also going deaf. So you combine all those things together, and when you have a conversation with him, you just kind of have to go where he takes the conversation, because usually where you start it is not where it ends up. And so I'm hoping, maybe he'll recover from that a little bit or whatever. But the trend has been generally downhill, which is disappointing. He is almost 83 years old, so, you got to take that with a grain of salt a little bit. But for as physically fit as the man is, it's so disheartening to see what's happened to his brain. And he was always a very intelligent man. He's an architect and building designer by trade, and you never want to see anyone's decline. You certainly don't want to see the decline of your family. But it's hard to avoid. We're all going to find ourselves taking a big, long dirt nap at some point. You just have to kind of enjoy the ride while you can. Hence why I smoke cigars, drink whiskey, and do YouTube videos where I talk to you and we have fun. But what I don't want to do is let this drag on forever and ever and ever. So I'm probably going to bring it to a close here. But I do thank everybody who has been part of my channel forever. Those new people who have signed on, I can't wait to talk to you, hear from you. And I definitely plan on putting out some more videos. There's some VRs I want to do. There's some contests I'd like to enter. Not because I want to win anything, but there's nothing better about a contest, if you're doing one, than to have people enter it. So again, it's all about that interaction, and I think we should promote that as much as humanly possible. Just get out there, talk to your fellow YTPCers, and make YouTube a fun, vibrant community. And if I have a theme of any of this, that's probably what it would be. Oh, that's a little bit better, although the ash just fell off. Damn it. Yeah, I think we've gotten through the slow part. We're getting to the part where it's going to be good from now on, which is sadly where I have to wrap this up, but that's okay. Normally I also wear glasses, but I'm recording this on a computer, and the glare on the screen was basically just in my face. So you're basically looking like two monitors, and that's no good. But so I hope I will catch up again with you all very soon. I'm not going to let this lapse like for a year like last time. That's BS, and totally my fault, and should never have happened. So it's been nice talking with you. I really hope that I get more interaction out of this, and I'll be putting out more stuff soon. So take care, everybody. Enjoy those pipes. Enjoy the cigars. Enjoy life, and we'll talk soon. Take care, everyone.